Hello, and welcome back to Myst. What will be the conclusion to the stream of our the original Myst game, the first of 5, 6 if you count Uru. I'm not sure if I do. It's the one I've never played, but this is the original Myst, and this is going to be the end game. When last we left off, we had learned quite a bit. Trapped within the red and blue books are the brothers Sirrus and Achenar, sons of Atrus. Each of them says that the other brother is responsible for destroying their father's work, betraying him, murdering him, and trapping the other one inside this prison with missing pages. And they're each begging us to save them so that they can return us to the place we came from and make sure the truly guilty brother is punished. But which one is telling the truth? We don't know yet. Well, I know. I've played this game a million times. With Sirrus, we know, loves wealth and riches and power, and we've discovered from our visits to the previous ages that he perhaps has an unhealthy relationship with alcohol and narcotic substances. The Stone Ship Age seemed to suggest that he was shooting up some sort of intravenous drugs. But he seems, aside from being greedy and potentially a junkie, he seems to be sort of still bolted together straight, which is better than we can say for Achenar. Achenar is barely intelligible and has apparently, as Sirrus himself put it, taken leave of his senses. He seems to be hardly able to string a sentence together. There's a lot of uncomfortable giggling and weird eye contact situation. And we know from our exploration of the previous ages that Achenar seems to have a thirst for violence and inflicting pain. And we know he has a twisted sense of humor. Is he the one who plunged a metaphorical knife, or perhaps a literal knife, into Atrus's back? We don't actually know exactly what happened to Atrus. They were a little bit light on details. All they would say was that he was murdered. But in order to find the truth, we're going to have to continue playing their game, and that means finding the remaining pages. In order to do that, we're going to have to find the last place of protection, which we know from the map is right here. Right where that enormous, tall redwood, I guess, tree is. So we will explore the tower in a moment and find our access key. But first, we know that we can find backstory and lore for all of these ages within Atrus's journals. And so let's find the last of his journals, this green book, for an age, which we will learn right here on the very first page, is called Channelwood. And the short version of Atrus's exploration of Channelwood is that when he arrived, it was a tiny rocky island in the middle of an endless sea. And next to that rocky island were trees growing straight out of the water. And at the tops of the trees were a network of wooden passageways with rope ladders descending from them to the surface of the water. And the water itself rippled in multiple vibrant colors, red and blue and bright green. And Atrus discovers that this age, unlike Selenitic, this age is inhabited, but not by humans, but by a humanoid race of monkey-like people who live up at the tops of trees in wooden huts in the among the walkways, and they don't speak his language. They don't speak English. They speak their own language, but they are very excited to meet Atrus, and they greet him with wonder and awe, and they beckon him to the top of their tree village. And when they get there, when they get up there, they lead Atrus to what seems like a throne room of some kind. And there he discovers another human, a very, very old, graying and frail human who has clearly been living among the monkey people for a very long time. He tells Atrus that he hasn't spoken his own language in many years. He can speak the language of the monkey people. And this very, very old man tells Atrus the story of what happened here, that apparently long ago there were humans and the monkey people living together in this place. Well, they were living side by side, so to speak. The monkeys lived among the trees, and the humans lived on the surface of what was a much larger island. That's where the trees grow. But there were earthquakes, occasional earthquakes. And then one day the earthquakes grew and grew in power until the island itself began to sink into the sea. And most of the humans who lived on the island drowned. They were wiped out in the tremors as the island sank. Those that survived they escaped into the trees, where they lived among the monkey people, but eventually died out. Atrus believes that it was because they were not, they didn't evolve, so to speak, to live among the trees, and they couldn't survive up there, and they eventually died out all except for this man. The monkeys believed that the humans who died in the earthquake had somehow done something to stop the tremors, that they had sacrificed themselves to save the monkey people. And so because of that, they treat all humans as if they were gods. That's what they believe. That's what this old man believes, that the ancient humans sacrificed themselves for the betterment of the monkeys to stop the earthquakes. Atrus knows that there's nothing a bunch of humans could do to stop earthquakes, but that's what the monkeys believe, and they treat the old man as a god, and they treat Atrus like he's a god, which he says makes him profoundly uncomfortable, which we've talked about a bit in these previous journals, the way Atrus doesn't think of himself as like a creator god type person. His discomfort with that idea, and the dangers of acting like a god to the people in these ages will be developed a little more strongly when we get into the later games. A little foreshadowing for later titles. But then, after the old man tells Atrus all of this, he grabs his hand and he says, "We had expected you to come sooner." And then the old man gets up, walks to the edge of a platform, and steps off and plummets, 30 feet down, and falls to the surface and dies. And the monkeys hold a funeral, and they place his body in the water, at which point, and they burn, they do like a Viking funeral type situation. They burn his body in the water, and then the waters, which had been these bright, vibrant colors, they all turn murky green, and then they stay that color. They stop switching colors after that. The monkeys begin to worship Atrus even further, which again makes him uncomfortable, and he leaves. He eventually comes back with Sirrus and Achenar. They're, again, supposed to be, I think, teenagers. Sirrus and Achenar come to this place. They love it. They begin to pick up the language of the monkey people very quickly, the way the young children tend to do. And Atrus has to go check on another age. He leaves the boys there to see how well they do on their own. He comes back sometime later to discover that the boys have become great friends with the monkey people and they can speak their language fluently, and everything's turning out great, and his boys are wonderful. But he warns them not to take advantage of the way that the monkey people treat humans like gods. Which I'm sure that's a lesson that stuck with them forever. Also, at a certain point, Atrus looks back through his journal and realizes that the ink in all of the journal entries he's been using, that the tree dwellers have given him, they've since he's written these entries, they've all changed colors, and that the tree dwellers knew this was going to happen, and this was a prank they were playing on him. Apparently, they're changing ink. That's the height of tree dweller humor. And then we have a sketch here of the walkways and their huts among the trees. And that is the end of the Channelwood Age journal. So we know we're going to a place with lots of trees and a village among the trees. What will we learn when we get there? Well, first, we have to find our access key. We'll head over to the tower, theoretically for the final time. As we check the place of protection from the viewport, as we already knew, it's the big tree. And our access key is 724. Now, I realize that when I did my tour of the island when we first arrived, there was one place I neglected to show off. And it is, oddly enough, the place we need to go now. Had I done a complete 100% tour of the island, you'd know instantly where we needed to go with those three numbers. Let's go check it out. Let's open this door back up. Did I see? Okay, sorry. It was something out of the corner of my eye. I thought there was something on that shelf. Even though I know better. So let's go over here by the big tree, and it's this little cabin. I neglected to open the door and show you what's inside the log cabin next to the big tree. So let's check it out. So inside, we see a painting. When I was a kid, I thought this was a window, but it's just a painting. A painting of the big tree. And what looks like a boiler of some kind. We see there's a pressure gauge. And there's a little window underneath it. And this little contraption here. And a little pipe that goes into the wall that leads apparently to this big wheel, which we can turn. Doesn't appear to do much of anything. But we see there, where the wall when we came in, I'm going to turn this off. Close that all the way. On the wall where we came in, there's a safe with a 3-number combination. And of course, this is where we put our access key, 724. 2, 4. And inside the safe, what do we find but matches? And I say if you turn away from the safe, it'll close. Fortunately, you don't have to put in the combination again. But what we can deduce here is that this is our boiler, and this little spot here, this took me forever to figure out when I was a kid. This is a pilot light. So what we need to do with our matches, we get a match, scratch it on the thing to light it, and light our pilot light. There we go. It's lit. Now we can turn on the boiler. And we're just going to crank the pressure all the way up. Why not? All right. It's all the way up. Oh, what's that noise? I wonder if it has something to do with the tree. An elevator. Oh! Didn't get there in time. So there's a lift cut into the tree itself. It is way up there. Way up there. But we can't get to it when it's up there. And we don't need to go up there. There's nothing up there. We need to go below. So now that it's up there, we're going to come back in here and release the pressure. And regrettably, there's no just like instant release valve on the boiler. We have to manually turn it all the way around. And now we see that the pressure is released. Our elevator is coming back down. It's going to take us all the way down to the place of protection. And this is, I know I said that this is this age is the best to go to last, but it's the place of protection that's probably easiest to find. But here's the age of Channelwood. There's the tiny island he saw, and it looks like, as we saw in the journal, a windmill. Nothing Atrus loves more than building hydroelectric power. And we see there the village built among the trees. And the first thing we hear is the wildlife. We hear birds, frogs, crickets. Alive with wildlife, creatures. And we can hear the water, which is still, as Atrus describes, that murky green. And we can see pipes all along these walkways, which kind of look like one of Atrus's sketches. And if we look at the pipe, we see valves. We walk over here. We can see this section where the pier looks broken and the wood is charred and blackened. I think this is where the old man fell, where they held his funeral, and they set him on the pier and set it on fire. That might not be it. We can see over here what looks like, if I didn't know better, an elevator. Certainly better than the rope bridge we were told about. Elevator opens right up, but no good. Doesn't work. So the first thing we have to do in a Myst age, turn on the power. Power is what we want. Let's go check out that windmill. This tiny rock, all that remains of the island the humans here once lived on. And we see this is where this pipe is coming from. Now it looks like a rubber hose that leads up to the windmill. And we can see if we keep going, this pipe shoots down into the water. Water comes through here. Not sure what that switch does, honestly. So the water goes up through the pipe into the big water tank. Now here, we open the valve. And now, if you listen, as we're walking along the hose, I turn up the game volume a little bit. You can hear the water rushing through the pipes. And now we understand the purpose of the valve. So the way it's running now, the water comes through here and then out this left pipe. So if I keep going to the right, we can't hear the water anymore. And that little audio tell is our clue. So I want to go to that, I want to go to that elevator. So nope. So the best way to do this is to find where we want to go and just walk backwards. So that's our elevator. We're going to go back. We're just going to open the valves in reverse order until we get... Now there's the water. There's the water. And now we can hear the motor for the winch is running. So we close that door. Where does this elevator take us? Up to the trees. So, if I go back here, actually. This might be the only age that I think is better in real Myst, where you can actually move around in 3D, because it's very easy up here in the trees with the way the pre-rendered graphics work and that sort of single perspective point and click move interface. It can be very easy to get lost. So I'm going to try to kind of take it slow here. There's a lot of dead ends, but we can see where all of these little huts are. We can see, here's a little section, but we see everything is broken and old and decayed. And it's clear no one's been here in a long time. We don't see any of these, you know, charming prankster tree dweller monkey people. do see a lot of these wooden sticks that look sharpened into spears, though. That's probably not great. And we can see these. Are these baskets? Or are they shields? Making pots? Oh, we see a switch. We saw this spiral staircase before. We see it again now. So what happens when we pull the switch? The door opens. That staircase is now accessible. So we'll continue exploring the trees. We can see more sort of abandoned dead ends. Clearly they've been making a lot of these pots. Hands and those frames for shields. It's another elevator. Oh, that's the original elevator, I think. You see how easy it is to get lost. So I can see where it looks like a lot of panels have been torn down and just sort of stacked up here haphazardly. My theory has been that they've been taking apart pieces of their village to make weapons. Who knows why that would be? So this is the spiral staircase we opened up. And there's an elevator here. But if we go inside, it doesn't work. Because we need power. So let's go down the staircase. And let's turn on the power. And this one's easy enough. Decently smart game design there. To put the switch that turns on this elevator right next to the door. So we didn't have to do a bunch of walking around to get to it. When I did this Age as a kid, I think I got lost a lot. Which is why it's, in my memory, much bigger than it actually is. So there's a second layer to the tree village. We're now up top. And we see a door. An actual door. With an ornate pattern on it. Oops. We go inside. We see a finely appointed bedroom with a nice plush rug, electric lights, soft bed. The color scheme isn't as obvious here, but I think just the plushness of it all will tell you it's Sirrus. But we see here his nice little chairs are broken. Nice wooden chair that got smashed. I wonder what happened to his chair. Perhaps these empty, whoops, discarded liquor bottles may explain why there's broken furniture. See, there's some more bottles over there. There's a couple more bottles over here. Very old block of cheese, maybe. Turned black with mold. Clearly he hasn't been here in a long time. Nice basin, which has also turned green. Half-finished glass of wine. It's got a little toy and ink for writing. And in the drawer, we find among the bottles of ink, the red page. But before we go, a couple more things we should take a look at. We look in here, we find another curved knife. He likes these. We found these, I think there's one of these in Stone Ship in his room. Sort of curved blade. In my head canon, he got it from the Black Ships. And here, he keeps empties in the drawer under his bed. But among them, we find this note. Half of a sheet of paper. And if we remember back to Stone Ship, we found the other half of this note. And now, of course, in the old days, the only way to get the whole note was to have written down the half that we found in Stone Ship and put it together with this one. Of course, in the modern day, I have half the note here. And we can see that it's marker switch vault access, Island of Myst. The vault is located in very plain view on the Island of Myst, and access can be achieved very easily if the simple instructions are followed. First, locate each of the marker switches on the island. Turn every one of these switches to the on position. Then go to the dock, and as a final step, turn the marker switch there to the off position. So there's a vault hidden on the island. And there was the whole time. Right in plain view. I wonder what's in it. Empty drawer. Well, that mystery will have to wait. Let's see what else we can find up here in the trees. So that elevator will take us back down. Not quite ready to go yet. So we have another pathway through the trees here, but there's another door here, a metal. An ominous metal door with a gate closing it off. I wonder what's in this door. Achenar. So this is where we learn. I mean, are suggested some more creepy things about Achenar, though we know that the tree dwellers treated humans with this air of worship, and they were told not to take advantage of that. Surprise, surprise, they did not listen. So Achenar made himself a hologram of his floating head, Palpatine style, shouting at the monkey tree dwellers in their own language over a little bed of spikes. I wonder what this thing does. Uh-oh. Game's crashing. No! No! Hold on. It's crashing. No! Oh, ScummVM crashed. I don't need you to report it to Microsoft. Oh no. Okay, here we go. We're all good. Of course, this is going to take me all the way back to the beginning of the age. That's fine. I still have the red page. Okay, so ScummVM's autosave function works very strangely. Okay. Alright, let me get back to where I was. As quickly as possible. Okay. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. Of course, again, back in the old days, if I wasn't running this in some VM session and it reset like that, I would have been doomed. I'm going to save here now. I will say the emulator does not like this particular video. This particular thing that happened, it crashed on me earlier when I was trying to. There we go. That's what it does. Now, I don't know what this thing does, but it looks like you put something in here and then it chops it. And I will say that when we were in the mechanical age, there was a piece of set decoration in Achenar's room that I pointed out, and I have a screenshot of it here. This monkey-looking head mounted on the wall in Achenar's room. I don't know if this is one of these tree dwellers. I don't know. It certainly seems possible. Achenar's a creep. There's a little door back here. Let's get out of that creepy room. So this little walkway just takes us around the corner. And then now we have another door. Double doors. This looks like another bedroom. There's no mattress. Single light bulb. Rather sparse. But here we see the blue page. So we'll have to remember to come back here. But there's one other thing in this room. Now, we're far enough in the game, and we've seen enough at this point to recognize this is clearly some sort of imaging device. We've seen Atrus and his sons with these little holographic display toys enough. So let's see what's on this one. There appears to be 4. So that's the same one as before. The second one. So Achenar just recorded himself making threatening messages, threatening sounding messages at least, to the tree dwellers. So it would seem that Achenar has taken much more to this animalistic tree-dwelling race living in the trees than Sirrus did, which, I mean, kind of makes sense, considering what we know about them. But let's look at the last message.
I hope I pushed the right button, my dear brother. What a very interesting device you have here. I'm not erasing anything important, am I? Remember, he is prepared. preparing. Take only one page, my dear brother.
He is prepared. Take only one page. What could that mean? It appears there's something else going on we don't know about. Let's head back. So if you see there's a elevator over there, that's where we're headed. The way to get there is a bit convoluted. Whoops. So we're gonna divert the water over here. And you see there's a gap. This was marked in Atrus's journal as future bridge. And there it is. And now, if we come over here, we can see another elevator, but the power is off. And we can see the pipe that leads to it is disconnected. So we turn this crank to attach it. And then we come over here, divert the water to, oh, whoops. I didn't divert the right one, this one. There, and there, and that sends the water to the final elevator. And there's the Myst book. And that is the Channelwood Age. It is very short, very simple. It's easy to get to, it's easy to solve. Which is one of the reasons I think it's best last. And also, I feel like these story revelations we just got are best experienced right before the end. So this is our final red page. What is Sirrus going to tell us?
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me.
Nearly?
My name is Sirrus.
Yeah.
I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Achenar is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father.
Oh.
I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. It was father who was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds of them, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here, in this room, on this island named Myst, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Achenar has burnt and mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our explorations. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Myst books. he began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Myst ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. His thirst for destruction. But alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Achenar's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final journey. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, trapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free.
What?
There is a book on the shelves. In this library, which is mostly burned, but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released, and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. It chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will be face to face.
So, Achenar said that Sirrus murdered Atrus, but now Sirrus says that Atrus trapped them both in these books in order to uncover the true culprit, which does track with what Atrus told Catherine in the message he left for her. I say. So there's one more page to get for Sirrus in order. So if we remember, the fireplace has this metal panel in it that we can enter these grid patterns into, as he indicated. On the last book in the middle shelf, there's this book, which is mostly burned, save for these pages with these geometric patterns in it. We gotta find pattern 158 and enter it into the panel. And that'll get us the last red page. And we can free Sirrus. And he can get us home and give us our reward. But I don't know if I trust him yet. I mean, the things he said about Achenar certainly lined up with our experience. And his version of the story certainly matches what we know from Atrus's message better, but I don't think I'm done. I need to hear what Achenar has to say. Let's go back to Channelwood. That's lit. Unfortunately, getting back to Channelwood kind of sucks. With the other ages, once the door is open, you can just kind of go back. And this one, you gotta wait for the whole thing, and then you gotta wait for it to go up. Now, you don't have to wait for it to go all the way up. You can try to time this. And just hope that you're fast enough to catch it. There we go. It's not a great system. But then I guess they are supposed to be places of protection, not places of speedy access. This button, by the way, will take you back up if you come back down here and decide you don't want to go to Channelwood for some reason. Alright. So now we know the blue page is in the room with the viewer, which is up these stairs, up the, oh, I gotta turn the water on. See what I mean about smart design? Oh, there we go. Okay. Streamlabs is freaking out on me. But yeah, so it's some smart design. I just had to come back and flip that one switch, and now I can go get the other page. Alright. And then when I come back down, I just have to flip that one switch back. Otherwise, this age would be interminable. Alright, so this way, pick up the blue page. Take only one page, Sirrus said. He is prepared. What could he have been talking about? Oh, hang on. Oh, thought I saw something. Alright. So now we've heard the last of Sirrus. I want to hear Achenar's version. Alright, Achenar. This better be good.
Hello, I'm Achenar. I'm glad to see that you've returned to help me escape from my wrongful imprisonment. It was Sirrus who did this to me. Sirrus, my wicked brother. Do not listen to him. I warn you. He's a liar. Do not be persuaded by his evil lies. Do not believe him. He killed my father. He will kill you. Began when my brother Sirrus began to lust for riches. He stole from the Ages of Myst. He hoarded riches for himself. My father. Father slept away his watchfulness. My sick brother secretly pronounced himself king. King of the Ages of Myst, he said. He began to look upon me in disgust. His lowly brother. He did him. And then Sirrus began to destroy the Ages of Myst. He burned their forest. He tore down their structures. He flooded their lands. He murdered their inhabitants. Completely destroyed all but 4 of the Ages. Of course, I had to warn Father. When I finally found him, there was Sirrus also, talking cleverly. The lying tongue of a serpent. He had convinced Father that it was I who destroyed the Ages. He convinced Father that it was I who was greedy for wealth and plunder. And Sirrus dealt the final blow. He tricked Father into believing that I was the murderer. But Sirrus did not deal as fast a blow as he planned. And his father died a slow death. He at last doubted my brother's clever lies, and so in dying, Father imprisoned us both. I'm sure from which of us the blow had come. I swear to you what I say is true. Release me. You must release me. My brother's a deceitful liar and deserves punishment. I only wish vengeance for my dear father. His murder. Believe me. You must only recover 1 additional page to release me from this prison.
Of course.
It's easiest to find. Go to the bookshelf. It's in this library. On the far right side of the middle shelf, there's a burned book, which is different from the other burned books. This book is filled with patterns. Find pattern 158. Mimic its design on the panel in the fireplace. Doing this will bring you to the last blue page. Remember, take the red page. Only the blue page. Return quickly to me. And do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap to imprison those who have not been warned. Do not be tempted, or you will rot and die, imprisoned as I am. I tell you, if you follow my instructions, it will be well worth your while. I promise you that. Go.
So once again, the two brothers have told us similar, but not matching stories. So Achenar claims to have witnessed Sirrus murdering their father, though apparently with some sort of poison, considering he said it was a slow death and Atrus never saw the final blow. Now that would follow. We've seen that Sirrus has an affinity for toxins, the intravenous drugs and alcohol we found. Maybe he slipped something into his wine or ink. Sirrus's story seems to fit Atrus's better overall, but Achenar is definitely right about Sirrus being greedy. Sirrus is definitely right about Achenar being bloodthirsty. But they both told us the same combination. That much, I guess, we can believe. $158. Oops. I once again have my notebook, and I am writing it down. Solid, solid, Empty, 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 solid, solid. Empty, solid, solid. I have my own little shorthand for this, so I'm not writing out a whole grid. So, if you're watching this and you don't know which brother is guilty, feel free to drop down in the comments and give your thoughts before we get to the ending in just a moment. Because it's about to happen. We're about to find out which brother is being truthful. I don't think I did a very good job writing this pattern down. I think I've really messed this up. I think I did okay. Alright. So, the final page, as they both said, is easy to find. It's been right here all along. Nope. Nope. I think this is it. Nope. That it. There we go. And there it is. We have the blue page, the final blue page, the final red page, and the green book. Now I'm going to do something I have not done at any point in the game. I'm going to save it. But only because I want to be able to come back here and show all the endings. Because this is the only point in the game when you can make a decision you can't take back. This is the end game. Sirrus and Achenar both told us if we touch the green book, we'll be trapped. Just like them. Atrus warned them, and they warned us. So, blue page, red page. Do we trust Achenar? Do we trust Sirrus? I don't know about you, but I trust neither of these lunatics. Sirrus is a greedy monster. Achenar is a bloodthirsty maniac. Obviously, we have the benefit of saving our game, but I don't trust either one of these clowns. Let's see what happens if we touch the green book. What horrible prison would this be, I wonder?
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Dunny. Not yet. I have many questions for you, my friend. As you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin? Perhaps my story is in order.
Yeah, I would think.
My name is Atrus. I fear you've met my sons, Sirrus and Achenar, in the red and blue books on Myst Island. In my library. Oh, it contains my works, my writings. Oh, I wrote many books that linked me to fantastic places. It's an art I learned from my father many years ago. Oh, but the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to entrap over-greedy explorers that might stumble upon my island of Myst. But I had no idea my own sons would be entrapped. My sons, Sirrus and Achenar, we had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise.
No.
I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told them about the red and blue books. Their imaginations went wild. They dreamed of riches and power. Of course, they did not know the books were traps. They begged me for access to those books, and I, of course, denied them. They devised a plan, an evil plan. I had no idea to what extent their greed had progressed. Their own mother. They used their own mother. Oh, my dear Catherine. To lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except that they removed a single page from my Myst linking book. I cannot return without that page. You, my friend, can bring that page to me. Oh, I pray you believe my story above the lies that my sons have told you. If you could find it in yourself to return that page to me here in Dunny, I could go to Myst and bring justice to my sons for what they have done. I must return to my writing. I pray that you believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
Now, if we want, we can go to Dunny right now without the page. But that would be stupid. Because he just told us he can't get out. So, Atrus is alive. Both of his sons are liars. Now, in order to get him out, we have to find the final page. But where could it be? Well, fortunately, we know of one place on Myst Island where something might be hidden in plain sight. The Myst Island marker switch vault. As we remember from our instructions, we turn all the marker switches on, which we did at the very beginning of the game. And now, we turn the last one back off. And there it is. It was right in front of us, right in our sights, when we first got here. The hidden vault containing the white page. Now here we go. We're going to put this code back in. Whoops. Oops. There we go. And there. Got it. And now?
Have you found the missing page? Come.
And now here we go for the ending. And this is Dunny. A big picture of, looks like Atrus on the floor. Hey, Turkey.
Ah, my friend. You returned. And the page, did you bring the page? Ah, give it to me. You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make. My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly.
Now, if you come here without the final page, you're stuck. He will basically call you an idiot and then tell you, you know, I told you, can't get home without the page. And then says, welcome to Dunny. We're going to be here for a long time. But now there's nothing to do except wait for him to come back. Oh, he's already back. That was fast. Hey. 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 What if I just got triggered too early? 'Cause that was really fast. Hey. Hey, you. Feel like that wasn't supposed to happen that way. He's supposed to be gone for a little bit longer. Wonder if it glitched out on me. Hey, Atrus. Did I accidentally skip the last cutscene? Oh, hold on.
You returned. And the page, did you bring the page?
Yes, it's right.
Give it to me.
Right here. There.
You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make.
Yeah, your kids suck.
My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly.
So this time, I'm not going to click away because I don't want to glitch out and skip the final cutscene. But this room we're in, this is Dunny, which will be a very important place in the lore of the Myst universe. We'll learn more about Dunny in later games and about Atrus and his whole deal. He's back now.
It is done. I have many questions for you, my friend. But my writing cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on the world in which my wife, Catherine, is now being held hostage. Oh. In reward, I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Myst, the books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure. I hope you find your explorations satisfying. You will no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more favor. I am fighting a foe much greater than my sons could even imagine. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Until that point, feel free to enjoy the explorations from my library on Myst. Thank you again.
Fighting a foe his sons couldn't even imagine. He can't send us home. All he can do is send us back to Myst. And if we come back to the library, we see the choice he made. The books are destroyed. Sirrus and Achenar gone. Stone cold, Atrus. Stone cold. And that is the end. That's the end of the game. There's no credits. There's no final cutscene. There's just that. If we go back to Dunny, Atrus will ignore us because his writing is too important. He's trying to save the world where Catherine is being held hostage. But he will ask for our help again soon. When will that be? Well, the sequel, obviously. That will be when we get to Riven, which will be next time. Thank you for watching me go back through this game I love. And we're going to pick up next time with part 2. Riven, sequel to Myst. Spoiler alert, that one's my favorite.
Oh, yes! I'm free! Oh, I feel alive! And how do you feel, my friend? Oh, what have we here? Perhaps pages you worked so hard for? Whoops! Yes! Oh. Perhaps you're seeing the world from my point of view. Yes. Oh. There's my brother. Oh, yes. Oh. Maybe someone will rescue you someday. You lose.
I'm free! Oh, thank you, my friend. My dear friend. You've done the right thing. You stupid fool! It looks like perhaps you're in the book now. And what have we here? A page. Oh no. I hope you enjoy your new home as much as I enjoyed it. I can't see you. You're getting less clear. I hope you're in the boots. The library looks much the same as I left. Oh, Achenar. Goodbye.
My friend. You've returned. We meet face to face. And the page. Did you bring the page? You didn't bring the page. You didn't bring the page. What kind of fool are you? Oh. Did you not take my warning seriously? Welcome to Dunny.